So I'm gonna, as always, start with a minute of silence. I'm doing a minute because this will be my first episode on my YouTube channel. So, if you'd like to join me, I'm gonna do a 1 minute breathing exercise starting in 3, 2, 1. So, the reason why I do that is to set my intention here. I'm not going to bring any of the energy of my last task or activity that I was doing here. I'm giving a space between the last thing now, and then when I finish this task, I will do a minute of silence to have a separation from this to the next thing. And I'm integrating that in my everyday. And it's to show that I do not need to constantly move forward and rush and go places and feel like there's this non-stop roller coaster. I take moments for myself to bring myself back to me, present, and a center. So from this point, I wanted to talk about the first step. The first step into whatever journey you wish to start. If there's an art project, if there's an art medium, if there is a creative goal you have, either or exercise, mental goal, physical goal, emotional goal, any goal, and you want to start now, here's my advice. Call it your zero draft, because when you just start something, I'm going to speak for myself. When I normally first start something, I say, how am I going to do this? Where am I going to start? What should I do first? I ask all these questions, and I spend my energy being kind of scatterbrained and bringing my ego or intellect into it. But not too long ago, I've heard this throughout my life, but it only clicked in the recent past, where when you really need a change, when you really want to do something, your body knows what to do. You just have to give it the space to do it. And what I mean by that is it doesn't need to intellectualize what it's doing. If it really needs it and it really wants it, and you know whatever's happening at this current moment or previously isn't working for you, the big sign that it's not working for you is that it wants a change. It's either too tired, too stressed, too anxious. The quote, I'm on my last leg, I'm close to the edge, any of these kinds of ways of speaking, this is a pretty big sign that your body is realizing that it's just not, something's not working. So the zero draft is where you start without needing to know how. It's, you just do whatever comes out. You don't need to intellectualize it. You don't need to make sense of it. You just need to, in essence, play. And I spoke about this in a little Instagram live thing I did recently, where at first, when you turn on a faucet that hasn't been used for a very long time, the first few things that come out of it are gunk, dirt, muddy water. It maybe spurts out, it's not consistent. I want you to think of it that that might be the case that will happen. More so than not, it will. And to be okay with that. To walk into that moment of whatever I'm going to do now is going to serve me, although it might not be intellectually where I know I want to be, right? That's the intellect. It's like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to do it as best and as good as I can, and I want it to either make me money or finish a project or a goal or get somewhere super fast, like kind of be a prodigy and just zip through the kind of beginning phase and get to this really super experienced phase. That's all the brain. That's the intellect or the ego. The zero draft is purposefully meant to keep the ego out. When you just play, when you just let your body play, when you let it do what it wants to do, you'll see soon enough that it knows. You just have to trust. You have to learn how to trust yourself again. But first, you build that trust by playing, by being playful. Even if you work in a field of with people, the first thing you want to do is build a rapport before you start putting restraints, limitations, boundaries, these kinds of things of getting that person to the next step. Because more often than not, when you're doing something like that, you are challenging them. You'll do something that will need that trust. And it's the same thing back to that faucet. You need to turn it on and get all the gunk out before you get the clean water, because you haven't used it. In this case, it's something that you haven't used for a very long time, so it's built up all this rust, this grime, this dirt, anything that you would like to call it. So I thought I'd start my journey, my first episode, completely unedited, stream of conscious thought of just, the only thing I had was the idea that I wanted this to be the zero draft. I wanted this just to be fun, because I'm going to continue doing this. And first I have to trust myself that I will have fun doing it. And I have to be okay with it not being smooth, it not going well, maybe mistakes, anything that might happen. So every time I've tried to record myself in the past, I'll start it, I'll stop it, I'll start it, I'll stop it. Every time I have a mistake, or I mumble, or I stumble on a word, or I don't use the right word, or I feel maybe that was too much of a pause. There's so, like, the brain, the intellect, the ego, just in me is so used to finding everything wrong that it's prevented me from putting myself out there. So I wouldn't say this to anybody if I hadn't lived it. I wouldn't feel comfortable telling someone to do something that I myself I've never done, or I can't do, or I'm not doing. So I thought it'd be fitting to start my journey by telling you this is what I'm going to be doing for myself, and if you'd like to join me, this is exactly how I'm going about it. And there's the thing, right? I feel like I just made a mistake and I would have probably deleted this video, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say it again. I'm doing this first episode, talking about letting yourself play, because it's something I am doing for myself. And I invite you to do it with me. We're going to go along the way. We're going to have fun. It's going to be play first, do it, get it out there. Love the process of shaking off the rust, learning along the way, and making sure every time you come back to this, it's something you want to do for you. And it's something that's helping you in some way. It's improving you. It's making you happier. Your quality of life is improving. So I invite you to do this. If anything in your life is, if there's something in your life that you'd like to do that you haven't done yet, first draft. It's going to be called the zero draft. Just embrace it. Don't intellectualize it. Don't try to make sense of it. Don't try to make it a perfect draft. It's the draft before you even start, right? It's the and before the downbeat of one. It's the preparation into it, right? It's the on your mark, get set, and then the go. So to me, the and is just as important as the go. It's how you get the momentum to go. So trust yourself, love yourself, embrace that the first few times that, or even for more than the first few times, that it might not go as smoothly or as perfectly as you want, and you might not have said everything you want to say, but you showed up. Give yourself the space to recognize that you're coming to the table, you're turning on your faucet, and you did it. Throughout my journey, each episode, I'm going to be doing a creative exercise of some kind. It could be drawing, writing, meditation, or any other things that kind of come up that I feel I would like to do and try. That's what I'll be doing. And the reason why I'm doing it, my intention is to create a little of every day with something creatively that I enjoy. I want to put creativity in my day every single day. I want to do something every single day that challenges me, that is something I'm interested in, and something I want to get better at, and something I could expand on. So I will be going through a lot of creativity exercises, and I hope you join me, and I hope you get a lot out of it, just like I hope I will too. Well, I know I will. And I'm excited. That's all I really have to say. If there is anything, any exercises, prompts, any kind of creativity lesson, experience that you'd like to share with me, please do. If you'd like to join me on doing a creativity exercise or prompt, what have you, together, I'm 100% for that. And if any of these videos do anything for you, please drop me a message, let me know, and let's have fun. This is the zero draft. It's me presently, and that's why I'm going to be calling this Presently Me. And now I'm going to end with a 1 minute breathing exercise. So, thank you for joining me, and have a great day.